So we've all seen them, the posts on social media, right? I hit $1 million in 3 months, get my secrets, or I got 100,000 followers in 30 days with this one thing. Let's have some real talk. First of all, let's assume those posts are true, that the person really did make $1 million in 3 months. I like to assume the best of people, so let's make that assumption here. Here's the thing you need to know. The simple statement on that post is just the tip of the iceberg. It's a sound bite that isn't giving you the full picture. It's no secret that posts in big groups need to start getting noticed within minutes or they're gone for good and nobody sees them. So this type of post is often the only way to get eyes on their information. And then to make the situation even more challenging, the posts that work best often are the ones that have the text on the colored background and it limits it to very few characters. There's not much room for a better explanation, even if they want to give you one. So love them or hate them. When you see posts like that, it's generally somebody's honest attempt at getting your eyes on their product or their service, and that's okay. You don't control what everybody else says or does. You can only control yourself, right? So let's talk about what that means to you. First of all, there's the obvious that we talked about. Your journey is your journey. Your life right now is not exactly like anyone else's. You have different challenges and supports, different financial status, different strengths, and that's a good thing. That's your superpower. So here's the secret. Overnight successes never happen overnight. Although the statement itself may be true, I made $1 million in 3 months, they absolutely did not start from scratch. They had related experience from a previous job, they had a list from a previous business, they had funding lined up, they had a platform already built, some kind of head start to make that happen. So when you see that kind of a claim, assume that there was some kind of foundation in place to make that possible. And while the techniques and the tactics that they're offering may be excellent, you have not failed if you don't replicate those results. Okay? Second, and I really want you to hear this, whatever helped them achieve that incredible milestone is part of their unique strength and talent. And you probably don't have the same unique strengths that they do. You have your own superpowers, right? So follow their template, and even doing it exactly step by step, it's not going to guarantee you the same results. Your highest success and best results will come from tapping into your unique superpowers, whatever those may be. And actually, on a side note, our live next week is all about identifying your unique superpower and tapping into that to accelerate your growth. So come back for that, and we'll talk more about finding your own superpowers. So learn from them, yes. Absorb all the information, learn the techniques, but then take a step back and take a good look at what you actually bring to the table and how you can actually best use that training or that method to suit your superpowers. That's how you get to success faster. And third, and this is something that most people don't take into account, is the difference between the front of the house and the back of the house, meaning that when you see what you see in someone else's business versus what is really happening behind the curtain. So, we've all heard the saying that success leaves clues, and that's true. You can learn so much from the success of others, but you have to make sure you're seeing the whole picture. So when you see someone successful who's employing a certain strategy or using a specific marketing angle or technique and you emulate them, you're taking a risk by assuming that you really understand the whole picture. So for example, you could look at a very successful coach and they might be putting out this really cool marketing campaign and you think that's the key to their success. So you try something similar. Now, maybe what you don't know is that's not actually the strategy she's used to build her business. It's something new that she's testing out. And maybe her business was actually built on referrals from another organization or some other method. So you spend hours building this campaign, you spend tons of money to purchase Facebook ads, because if it works for her, it should work for you, right? The problem is it didn't work for her either. But you can only see the front of the house for her business. You don't really know what's happening behind the scenes. And there's all sorts of strategic reasons a competitor might be doing what they're doing that you're not aware of. So be really careful with this one. There's a similar problem with comparing yourself to others just in general. So let's say that you have a competitor, maybe have a membership, and maybe she has 1,000 people in her membership. Okay, that's great. 1,000 people in your membership is fantastic. But what you maybe don't know is that she has a ton of staff and expenses to run the programs and attract those members that you don't have. And at the end of the day, maybe she's hardly making any profit by the time she pays that all out. Now, is that the business model that you want to emulate? No, right? That might not be the thing for you. So stop comparing yourself to others. Learn from their successes, but then integrate what you've learned into your own strategy that taps into your own strength. And the last thing I want to mention on this is remember that any forward progress is progress. So some days you are going to make huge leaps forward, other days, not so much. But as long as the goals you set for yourself have outcomes that are determined by your actions, not outside factors, you cannot fail as long as you don't give up. So let me say that again. You cannot fail as long as you don't give up. You may not make the $1 million in 3 months, but you will make it if you keep moving forward in the right direction. For me, the $1 million took 3 years. And I have, of course, I had set big goals and I set my sights on 1 year. And then, okay, I didn't make it 1 more year when I didn't make it that first year. And then in the end, it took 3 years, but I got there. And that's when I realized that I'm guaranteed success if I just keep going, and you are too. And the success story you create won't be her success story. It will be your success story. And that's so much sweeter when it's yours.